Stargazers were in for a treat, as two rare moons combined in one spectacular show last month. A supermoon combined with a blue moon for the first time in 14 years to create a super blue moon. The astronomical event appeared in Australian skies on August 31st and likely won't happen again for at least another 10 years. This special event is the coincidence of two uncommon moon traits: a supermoon, which occurs when the moon appears larger than usual, and a blue moon, or the second full moon in a month. According to NASA, a blue moon only occurs once every 2 or 3 years on average, and a blue moon that is also a supermoon is even rarer. While a super blue moon can occasionally happen twice within 2 months, at other times, it could be 20 years before the phenomenon repeats. On average, such an event occurs once per decade, per the agency. Astronomy lovers get to experience supermoons because the moon's orbit around Earth isn't a perfect circle. As a result, the distance between us and the moon varies, as it loops around our planet. Roughly 3 or 4 times each year, the full moon occurs while the moon is at its closest point to Earth, called the perigee. These supermoons appear 7% larger than the average full moon and 14% larger than a full moon at its most distant point from Earth, or the apogee. In India, the festival celebrates the bond between brothers and sisters, and is commemorated by the tying of a cotton bracelet. What is a super blue moon? A super blue moon is an astronomical event where a blue moon and a supermoon happen at the same time. Will the moon turn blue? Despite its name, a blue moon is not actually blue in color. In this case, it refers to a rare event, where there is a second full moon in 1 month. The moon takes 29.5 days to complete a cycle, and since most calendar months last 30 or 31 days, there is usually only 1 full moon each month. When a full moon occurs right at the start of the month, there is just enough time for a second full moon to happen at the end of the month. Blue moons are rare events that only happen every 2 or 3 years, which is why the term, once in a blue moon, means something that doesn't happen very often. What is a supermoon? A supermoon is when the moon's orbit is closest to Earth at the same time that it is full, making the moon appear much larger than usual. Because the moon's orbit is not a perfect circle, it moves closer and further away from Earth throughout the year, weather zone states. At its closest point to Earth, the moon can appear about 6 to 7% larger than an average full moon. Blue moon isn't the only colorful name for our natural satellite. When a second new moon occurs within 1 month, some people call it a black moon. And any full moon during the month of April is sometimes known as a pink moon. On very rare occasions, the moon actually can appear blue, if extreme wildfires or volcanic eruptions blast enough smoke or ash into Earth's upper atmosphere. If these particles are roughly 1 micron wide, 1/1,000,000th of a meter, they can interact with light reflecting off the moon, scattering the long wavelength red light and leaving just the bluer light to pass through to viewers on the ground. This has happened several times in history, such as during the June 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, which caused the moon to take on a bluish-green hue in several places around the world. During a lunar eclipse, however, the moon truly appears red, as the only sunlight that reaches it has been filtered through Earth's atmosphere, scattering its blue wavelengths away. In another rare event in January 2018, a supermoon and a blue moon overlapped with a lunar eclipse, creating a large-looking, rust-colored moon. How rare is a super blue moon? According to NASA, the time between super blue moons can vary greatly, with the last one occurring 14 years ago. Sometimes they only happen every 20 years, but the average time between 2 super blue moons is 10 years. How to see the super blue moon? If you don't have a telescope, you might at least have a pair of binoculars in the house collecting dust. Give them a good clean and get them ready for the full moon. Many astronomers will tell you a full moon is not a great time to observe our celestial neighbor with magnification. And to an extent, that's true. The best times to observe the moon are during the crescent moon and gibbous moon phases, when the terminator, the line dividing the lit and unlit side of the moon, throws shadows on the surface, highlighting surface features. But if you've never considered pointing your binoculars at the night sky before, super blue moon is a great opportunity to give it a go. You may find yourself returning again and again, using your binoculars to track features on the moon. This moon was at its biggest just before midday in Australian skies on August 31st and unfortunately wasn't visible. But stargazers still saw the moon appear larger and brighter when it began to rise from 5:46 p.m. on Thursday. The super blue moon follows the first full moon of August and late July, traditionally known as a sturgeon moon. An August full moon is named after the sturgeon, a type of fish, because of the discovery of hundreds of these fish in North America's Great Lakes in August hundreds of years ago. Is the super blue moon dangerous? The rare blue supermoon could raise tides above normal, exacerbating flooding from the storms. While a supermoon can make for a spectacular backdrop in photos of landmarks around the world, its intensified gravitational pull also makes tides higher. It was expected to make tidal flooding worse not only in Florida but in states such as Georgia and South Carolina, where Haynes's office has been warning residents that parts of Charleston could be underwater by Wednesday night. Other full moons this year. While there are no more super blue moons this year, there are another 4 full moons to look forward to until Christmas. The remaining full moons are September 29th, Harvest Moon, October 28th, Hunter's Moon, November 27th, Beaver Moon, and the last one, December 26th, Cold Moon. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe and press that like button. Also, hit the bell icon, so you could never miss new updates from us. Thank you for watching, and we will meet you in the next one.